The Pod Network Entertainment.
Tama naman, di ba? Ba't mali pa ako?
Yeah, that's why I support.
No, you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah. We're not kidding here. You're right.
Dominik is a weak man.
What a guy.
Di ba? So that's why Finn had to step up. Because Priest is somewhere like fucking defending the title. He was on Raw against Mysterio. So there's that. Diba? So somebody had to step up, and glad it's Finn.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to you.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Star, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening...
And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
Starting with a cold open this week on the Wrestling Podcast, just because my computer and my internet were not cooperating nung start of the stream. So Ro's gonna start off the show. It's gonna get a bit awkward with me dipping in and out. Ganun talaga, mulan, Philippine connections, and a laptop that's a few years old. Na hindi ko naman sinisisi kasi baka magalit siya. Anyway, let's start the show.
You're listening and watching the longest running weekly live episodic wrestling podcast in all of the land. The Wrestling Podcast coming at you live on a Thursday night. Chino Liao, Ro Moran, Emil Nate, Rowan ASH, and pretty soon, hopefully, Mr. Stan C joining you to cover all things in the week of wrestling. What's up, guys?
Oh boy, let's welcome back Rowan since he's here to drag us all down. How are you?
Grabe naman kayo. Anyway, yeah, I'm back, guys. Hi. Nakita niyo naman pagmumukha ko.
That's all he has to say after months of being away. He only says hi. Hi, guys.
I think nasabi niya.
Hi guys, welcome to my vlog. Yeah.
I think nasabi na niya lahat with his dancing. I think.
Not even the Jericho. Hi guys.
I got it out of his system.
Jesus Christ! It's like you weren't gone for months. So okay,
or
so
you won't see me again.
Oh, yun nga eh. Oh, Emil, how are you?
Good. Medyo maulan today, so nakatulog ako ng maayos. So I'm ready for tonight's live stream. So
everybody reacting to Rowan being back. Yan ang breaking news sa episode na to.
Yeah, he had a dance to show for it. Yeah.
Enough about me, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's enough about Rowan. Let's move on with the show. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start with some housekeeping first. First, let's put up, Jasper, yung ating first order of the day. We are doing a new Pasabay batch. People have been asking. People have been messaging us to wonder when we're going to do a new Pasabay batch. It's our friend and customer, Joseph Nunali, who ordered a CM Punk shirt from the last Pasabay in April. So he got that just a few weeks ago. And the other day, but he got that the other day. And he's very satisfied. You too can get new CM Punk merch. They are retroing the old CM Punk stuff as though they were Jordans. So if you missed out yung mga late 2000s straight edge merch si CM Punk nung panahon, now is your time to get it through us. We'll be releasing the official sign up form by Monday, as the graphic says. So stay tuned for that. Follow us if you're not following us yet, the Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, to find out or to know when the sign up form drops. So thanks again, guys. Hope to have you guys buy with us. All right. Maybe Emil, let's tell the people what they can get, including one of an event like Saturdays when they sign up for our Patreon program.
Yeah, so you can enjoy events like we're gonna have this Saturday and future events as well, and also supporting what we do here by subscribing to our Patreon programs right there below the link on the Chiron. Thanks, Jasper. It's patreon.com/wrestling podcast for as low as $5. So murang-mura na, 250 to 260 pesos locally in our currency. So you'll get benefit. You get to join in on our Discord where it's fun every day. Have fun talking to our local or to our loyal patrons, talking about all types of stuff like wrestling, sports, memes, shoes, everything and anything under the sun. Also, you get to enjoy the review content of the weekly wrestling shows, courtesy of all of us at this point. So we all write something now to review kasi sobrang dami ng wrestling shows every week. So you got Raw, Dynamite, NXT, SmackDown, the weekend AW shows, Impact, so all of that. And also the Pasabays, we're gonna start again another run this next week.
Yes, I just said that.
Yeah,
I literally just said that.
And if you are part of our Patreon program, you'll get some discounts on the service fees. Yeah. So that's a benefit.
If you're not listening,
Di naman, I'm just repeating.
Okay, he's reiterating. Repetition is good. Okay, go
And
go for it.
Again, by subscribing and subbing to our Patreon, you're pretty much supporting everything that we do here. Again, running strong for 10 years. The link is right there below, patreon.com/wrestling podcast for as low as $5.
Right, Jasper, let's put up the next one for my happy noises. Blast TV!
Let's go!
Blast TV! All right. So, Raw, SmackDown, NXT on Blast TV. If you've been asking us, okay, we had a mini-series. We debuted our mini-series last Monday on how to start watching wrestling. This is how you start watching wrestling. If you are on Converge, Globe at Home, and if you're on Conversion Globe at Home, it's free. If you are a subscriber of any other internet service provider, it is 179 pesos a month. Not just the WWE stuff, but you also get other stuff like The Office, The Good Place, other shows, and a whole bunch of other movies as well. Maraming bago dinagdag, as well as UFC, the NBA, but not the current playoffs. Diba? I don't think they're showing the playoffs here. No. But they are showing the latest UFC. They are promoting the next card on June 30th. So if you are an MMA fan, this is where you go. Go to app.blasttv.ph or www.blasttv.ph. Let's have Mr. Ovation pay us for all the work that we are putting in to promote his shit. All right. Again, that's www.blasttv.ph. Not supposed to be complete. I'm not supposed to be here, but Stan had to restart his computer.
Technical difficulties, but hey, and Stan's right there. Yeah,
welcome back.
Yeah, technical difficulties suck. What sucks more is not being paid by Ovation Guy for actually shilling the service of Blast TV. So
Mr. Ovation!
It would be nice if someone can connect us to Ovation Guy para mabayaran naman kami for all the good work that we do, diba?
I thought you were industry friends.
No, I just know the name and the face. Hindi may industry friends. Yung mga underlings niya, industry friends ko. But not him. Anyway, let's start with some actual wrestling talk, shall we? Let's get to free agency, because apparently that's a thing now in wrestling in this day and age. And we're going to start with Chad Gable, whose contract is reportedly expiring over the weekend. Pero meron siyang very hot angle right now involving Sami Zayn, the Alpha Academy, and the Intercontinental Championship. He gets his one-on-one rematch at Clash at the Castle, Scotland. And I guess with the way that things are being booked, I think there's like a handshake deal in place to at least keep him until Clash. And I think it's safe to say that Chad Gable is staying in WWE.
Yeah. It's funny because they're pushing these stories now kasi kakaroon ng drama. But obviously, they're going to have a match on the pay-per-view. And they made that match. So obviously, they're banking on Gable re-signing if he hasn't done so already.
Yeah, I think, if anything, this just proves na popular yung mga toxic na tao. Kasi his storyline is very hot right now. And yung swerve niya came unexpectedly, and the results of this week's Raw natin na unti-unti nang sumasapi sa dark side itong mga alagad niya. Diba? So it's actually an interesting story. I'm very glued to it. I do want to see where this goes, and maybe Clash is the time for Sammy to drop the title to Chad. Maybe this is what the payoff needs.
Yeah, the payoff to this feud will always be Chad Gable winning the title over Sammy, and it's a and even though lumabas tong news na to, I didn't really expect one bit that he's gonna leave WWE because he's in the middle of one of the best storylines that they have right now, and it would be, di man like it would be dumb for him to go away while he's having the run of his the best run of his singles career so far. So I think may deal na din in place eh. I think even though they wala pang lumalabas sa balita, I think something is in place na and he's gonna stay there for good even after Clash.
I agree with everyone's point. Pero yun nga, like Gable is in a hot storyline right now. Very interesting storyline. We were at that point na nakakalimutan natin si Gable, and like he's not in a good position sa booking. And right now, he's rising up. It felt like that random Apollo Crews push, pero ito yung parang deserve na talaga niya na ano, like he needs to be the next champion. They need to push this guy. He needs to get his flowers. With regards to the free agency news, like I mean, it's really up to him if he will stay or leave.
I mean, yes, that's how free agency works.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
all
wouldn't really
stars.
call Chad Gable parang Apollo Crews.
No. I get what he's saying. Gable was down in the dumps of obscurity before he got plucked. I mean, Alpha Academy was a thing, but he wasn't quite getting the exposure, the spotlight that he is now. Gets ka naman sinasabi ni Rowan. I wouldn't say Apollo Crews level because Apollo Crews got shafted after his Nigerian run. Pero
Oh yeah, definitely.
I understand that compared to let's say 2 years ago, ibang-iba na yung position ni Chad Gable now. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tsaka they respect him enough to put people behind him, diba? Despite him being a heel or a face, lagi siyang may kasama. He's responsible for a whole stable, essentially. So the fact that they can trust him to run a stable and carry a storyline alongside Sami Zayn just speaks volumes to the kind of value they see in Chad Gable.
Jasper, let's move on to the next point.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
Live
Alright.
TV, guys. Live TV.
Speaking of free agency, may isa pang bali-balita na there's hindi naman disgruntled, but another contract is coming up, and that's Ricochet, the current WWE Speed Champion. But you never know it because he doesn't come out with the belt. So apparently his contract is coming up this summer, which is in the next few months in the US. And where would you like to see him? Should he stay with WWE and be the guy that isn't really getting pushed kasi maraming tao na napupush ngayon, or should he take his talents elsewhere? What do you guys think? Emil, let's start with you.
I wish he would rather stay. Because right now, yes, he's not getting the push that Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Ilya Dragunov gets, but he's in a sweet spot right now. He's always getting TV time, and whenever they would want someone to have a good match, put him with Ricochet. He is that guy right now on Raw. And kung ako kay Ricochet, that's the spot I kind of want. Kasi you're on that sweet spot now. You're not the champion, so you're not there every week. You're not parang hindi ka you're not needed all the time, but when they need someone to have a good match with you, you're the guy that they call. So
yeah, but yung ano mo yung role mo that you're the glass in case of a good match guy. Diba?
And I don't think that's a bad role to have.
No, I agree, but I don't think he agrees.
Yeah, but if he goes to another company, I don't think I don't think they will push him higher than WWE is pushing him now. Yeah, like he will get a title match when he gets maybe to AEW, but after that, he's gonna eventually go back to he's gonna go back to what he was in WWE or even worse. May not get even TV time each like he's getting now.
So ma-Andrade siya. Rowan, what do you think? What
Yeah,
would you do if
exactly,
you
yeah.
were Ricochet?
Okay, like I said kanina with regards to Gable, like it's really up to them if they would stay or leave. Currently he's the speed champion. Tutok na tutok ako sa speed. So if he drops the title, we might see him leave. Pero I don't see any reason for them to leave. If I was in Ricochet's shoes, I don't see any reason for me to leave. Kasi parang maganda naman yung sistema sa WWE when it comes to the booking and storytelling. If it's not perfect, pero pwede naman maayos.
Okay, Chino, what do you think?
I think if he does leave, it'll be dependent on where he goes. Kasi if he ends up in AEW, yes, there will be a push. Kasi he'll be the shiny new toy for the company for maybe a quarter. Tapos ano mangyayari sa kanya? Mawawala na ulit yan eh. Diba? We've seen it time and again happen to AEW. However, if he goes elsewhere, perhaps to Impact, perhaps somewhere else, diba, a lesser known indie, maybe he does an indie run, ma-recognize ng tao yung value niya, the kind of value that he brings, kind of like what Nick Nemeth is doing now. Diba? The kind of value that they bring to a company. So, maganda yung billing nila agad or somebody like Ricochet. And perhaps maybe then he wouldn't have to travel 365 days out of the year or whatever para lang mag 650 gabi-gabi, di ba? Or di ba? Parang gets me on. Kasi ginawa na niya yan. He's been doing it for what? More than almost 10 years now probably sa WWE. So, ang tagal na din niya sa WWE. If he wants to take it easy on himself or he wants to try out other things, by end of the day, it'll still be dependent on where he actually ends up going if he does leave. Ako personally, I don't want to see him leave kasi nga, for all the reasons mentioned. But if he leaves, I hope he stays away from AEW.
Yeah, Albert in YouTube is correct. Let's put that up, Jasper, yung comment niya. He says that I bet that TK is chomping at the bit to have to run Ricochet versus Will Ospreay again and have another viral moment, diba? I'm sure that's what TK wants. I'm not sure that's what Ricochet wants, but maybe that's what's waiting for him. Who knows? Maybe TK is ready to push Ricochet as a world champion, or he can just leave. Tapos buhay niya ulit Lucha Underground para maging top champion siya. Diba?
So one factor, nakalimutan ko sabihin. One factor to this is he's engaged to Samantha Irvin, who's working with WWE. So I think that also plays a factor as to what he's gonna do, because like with these wrestlers, parehas may roles in the wrestling industry, they tend to want to be together, work in the same place. So I think that would play a factor as to what his decision will be come summer.
I actually want him to go. I want him to do a Cody Rhodes Odyssey, the Drew McIntyre Odyssey. Because I just want him to come back as premium goods. Because the Vince run has kind of tainted him. He's had some moments here and there. He's been mid-card champion. But I think how Vince handled him post NXT is really damaged him. So I want to see him up his stock out sa labas muna. And, he can come back. I'm sure he's gonna come back because Samantha's there and everything, and I don't think it will hurt him to try his hand being somewhere else. Right. Before we move on to the next talk point, let's take a quick break and hear from our fellow Kapodcast on the Pod Network.
Hi guys, we are the Eavesdrop Podcast. My name is Francesca.
My name is Jelly.
This is Delamar.
This is Jude. What's up?
Yeah, and we are inviting you to check us out, your fellow TPN podcast.
And if you want to learn more about life, what's happening around us, you want to know about love, healing, this is the podcast you should be listening to.
Eavesdrop, 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 eavesdrop. Sometimes we get drunk and do the show. Those are the fun ones.
Like today.
Ooh, why? Who's drunk? Like right now.
You're red as a bug.
Am I? Eavesdrop, please catch it. 4 hosts going crazy. You'll have fun. You'll cry. Everything else. So please check it out. The Eavesdrop.
Only on the Pod Network.
Saying hey to
Right,
Dean though, one half of the time. Oh, there he's back. Okay.
Yun.
Yeah. No, let's say hi to Dindo first. Hey, man. Thanks for joining
Hey,
us.
hey, man,
One
what's
half
up?
of the Quiz Night champions.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Sorry.
have the Wrestling champs.
What's up?
Reigning and defending. All right, let's go to Raw and talk about yung follow-up sa viral moment from last week, which is the ongoing flirtation between Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio. And the Judgment Day is actually behind Dom and Rhea staying together. So you see Finn here actively cock-blocking Liv Morgan. So what do you think about Finn Balor, who's been the most heelish of all the Judgment Day guys, actually doing a babyface thing, which is keeping Liv Morgan, the philanderer, away from young Dominik Mysterio?
Nah, that's a
Let's start
bro
with
right
you, Rowan.
there.
I want to hear your take on it.
I want to start.
Bros
That's a bro
before
right there.
bros.
That
Wait, who
is
starts?
that's a dude you need in your life, everybody. All guys need a friend like Finn Balor. Diba? Unang-una, kung ayaw talaga ni Dominik Mysterio, hindi niya reciprocate yung halik. Umalis ka na dyan. Pero na-recognize ni Finn Balor that Dominik is a weak man. That's why he had to step in for his boy. That's why he had to step in for his boy. Yeah, all hail. Tama si Finn. Hashtag be Finn. Be more like Finn. Or whatever better hashtag is. Kasi that's a bro right there, man.
I did not have Chino lecturing us about consent and my bingo card.
Tama naman, di ba? Ba't mali pa ako?
Yeah, that's why I support you.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah. We're not kidding here. You're right.
Dominik is a weak man.
What a guy.
Di ba? So that's why Finn had to step up. Because Priest is somewhere like fucking defending the title. He was on Raw against Mysterio. So there's that. Diba? So somebody had to step up, and I'm glad it's Finn.
Gusto ko yung to take off what Beefy Jerky is saying here. Gusto ko yung, we're actually progressing from Eddie's Latino Heat character in a positive way in 2024. But yeah, Chino nailed it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird na the Judgment Day is supposed to be heels, but me as a person, I cheered Finn for what he did. No Raw. That's like Chino said, that's a real bro right there. And anyone with a common sense would also root for what he did. I don't know kung bakit nagbu yung mga tao sa arena, but
I want to see two young, hot, attractive people get it on.
No, like I said last week, people are Liv simps. They wish it was them. Is Aaron here in the chat? Aaron, are you here?
And people love scandals, man.
No,
Yes,
it's not
exactly.
that. People want to be Liv. People want to be dumb.
If there's somebody supporting Liv's advances, it's the WWE universe. It's the fans. Kasi they want na malagot si Dom kay Rhea. And
Okay,
it's like
that
one of
makes
those TikTok content na cheating, shit.
Tama yan kasi
so I think
sabi ni Emil,
it's very suited this year.
Yeah, go Chino.
Sorry, to jump off Rowan's point, yung sinasabi ni Emil is spoken like somebody who hasn't seen an episode of Springer or mga Maury, yung mga nagsasapakan na couples. Kasi ganyan yung ending na, diba? Like, Rhea Ripley's gonna come back and magkaka-scandal, diba? That's where this is all headed. So, so the fact that cheer natin to, or yung fans, whoever cheers for this, diba? It just goes to show na mabenta pa rin ang skandalosa, diba? Mabenta pa rin ang chismis and all that.
I will say that it's the most compelling Liv has been as a character.
Yeah, kasi parang naging AJ Lee siya.
What? Oh yeah, right, sure. Yeah.
Sorry, like to continue.
I think we all remember AJ kissing people without consent back in the day. So yes.
But
yeah.
did she do that to mess with people in their relationships? She did that with single guys.
Yeah.
Single on kayfabe, in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle, Primo, everyone. Pero yun nga, like Liv's gimmick right now, like hindi tumatak yung yung Queen of Extreme gimmick niya that like when she got injured nawala rin agad. So like this crazy chick gimmick is like better than what she had before everything. Kasi it has mind games on it. So kaya rin pinoprotektahan ni Finn ang relationship ni Dom and ni Rhea because it's for the greater good of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'll just be careful with calling Liv crazy as a character. One, kasi mga lalaki tayo, and for us to call a woman crazy doesn't really play well in 2024. And second, she's not being crazy, she's being very malande to Dominik Mysterio. Like, she's forcing herself on Dom. That's not exactly the definition of crazy.
No, she said, sinabi niya na like she is on a revenge tour and she wants to take everything away from Rhea that include Dom. So it's part of her agenda. So it's not really crazy. It's like yun yung talagang gusto niyang gawin.
Yes, Doc G, that's correct.
Yes.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's already admitted that on TV. That's her literal promo on Raw.
That's how she's trying to get to Rhea.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the revenge tour. Diba? Taking everything that Rhea has. On that note, with the Judgment Day acting the way that they're acting, and Damian Priest being a de facto babyface in his championship defense against Drew McIntyre, what do you feel about the way that the Judgment Day is as a stable dun sa alignment naman nila? Because they're supposed to be a heel stable. JD is definitely a heel. Carlito's a heel. Finn is a heel who, supports healthy relationships. But Damian's kind of like a babyface here. Dom is also a heel, by the way. So has this actually happened before? Na the top guy in the faction is a face and everyone else is a heel?
The closest thing I could think of is Chaos from New Japan. Na sobrang dami nila na some were heels, some are baby faces. Okada was a baby face and the rest are sometimes heels. So that's the closest stable I can think of. But other than that, we haven't seen this really in WWE before.
Yeah, parang never nangyari.
Was it Nation of Domination like si Rock? Like parang na-outrade
No,
si
The Rock
Farouk.
was still a heel.
Ah,
The
he
Rock
was still a heel.
heel. Pero may pop siya kasi he was like being funny and entertaining and all.
Yeah.
But he was still very much a heel.
Yeah.
And I think the Judgment Day is just in a weird transitional phase here. Kasi, diba, you also have, we forget, they also have Carlito trying to worm his way in there, diba? So, I feel like dadating tayo sa point that they're gonna swap Rhea for Liv and Priest for Carlito. Diba? In like a Puerto Rican for a Puerto Rican sort of trade here. Kasi si Carlito doesn't seem to be going away. He seems to be proving his worth. And parang pinove din niya yung sarili niya to the Judgment Day this week on Raw. So I feel like the turn is still going to happen. Something is the switch is still going to happen, and this transition that we're in for the Judgment Day, ito sana yung gusto natin makita for the Bloodline all those months ago. Pero now that we're getting it for the Judgment Day, I can see where it's going, and I kind of like it.
No, I think what it really is that it's really na flesh out sila as characters, especially the top, the core group. See Finn, Dom, Rhea, and Priest. So, hindi na sila cartoon characters. So, I like that it's not confusing, but more of it's really, really complex, and how they are aligned is based on who they are interacting with. Okay, I think that's a sign now of how well written your characters are.
All right, that's a good thing for the Judgment Day. Staying with Raw, we saw a match between Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the Women's Tag Team Championships get interrupted by Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who are going after the same Tag Team Championships. And this kind of looks like Alba and Isla will be set up to be challengers then at Clash at the Castle Scotland. Kasi this is a way to get all of the Scottish WWE superstars in championship matches in Scotland. So how do you guys feel about this development?
It's good. Buti na lang may Scottish wrestlers sila.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Rowan.
what?
Yeah.
I mean it's good kasi buti nga pagka nabubook mo, nakakapitalize mo, like if you're going to this hometown or a country, mabubuk mo yung talent mo who lives there, who was built there. And meron nga times na if they would go to this country, they won't be able to book this person. Parang ganun. Kaya buti na lang that they are capitalizing on it. So, which is the same case for Piper Niven over on SmackDown. And it's not really a new thing na they would book you because that's where you were born or like anything. Like kay Finn Balor nga, he was not born in Japan pero he was built there for like dun siya sumikat kasi. So when he won the NXT title in Beast in the East 2015, like they capitalized on it. Tapos parang dun na rin sana nila i-start yung feud with Hideo Itami. Well, I digress. Pero for sure, pagka nagka-event dito sa Philippines, they will also book like Ate Shotzi, Kaden Carter, and Joaquin Wild. Like they would go all out.
They didn't do that
Beefy
for
Jerky's
TJP
right.
in 2016.
Well,
who cares? Who cares about that guy? Who cares about that guy? Who cares? Did they bring him over? Did they bring him over?
I mean.
No, tsaka nung panahon na yun.
I'm just saying na Rowan speaking with so much conviction na whenever WWE goes to country XYZ, sino mang taga-country na yun or represents that country immediately gets put in a prime position.
No, but he does have a point, diba? He does have a point, naman.
That show was a house show. That wasn't.
And I did mention there are times that wrestlers don't get booked in their hometown or country.
Oo nga naman.
Yeah.
It's true though. Kasi, diba, what's his name? Bronson Reed couldn't make the chamber because of familial duties, diba? The most recent example there, diba? So,
he was gonna make it.
Diba?
He was gonna make it.
He did not make it because
he was gonna make it, but he chose not to. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be at the side of his wife who's giving birth, diba? So
can we draw attention to what Beefy said? We forgot that Nikki Cross was on the roster. So that makes like five Scots on the main roster. When I said that, apat pala sila last time.
Or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I mean, if it is true that she's gonna be part of the so-called Wyatt Six, then maybe there's gonna be a big reveal sa Clash. I don't know. I mean, how many months have they been doing these glitches on the screen?
Since Mania.
When are they going to finally pull?
Since Mania.
2 months.
So yung balita is that they're going to pull the trigger on the Raw after Clash at the Castle.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
So that's likely the June 17th episode of Monday Night Raw.
Hi there, my name is Earl, and I'm the host of Philippine Campfire Stories. After this episode that you're listening to, baka naman gusto mong mag-check ng mga horror stories sa mga folklore and urban legends na nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Mga true horror stories shared in a manner na hindi ka naman matatakot pero ma-entertain ka. Go ahead and check out Philippine Campfire Stories, and we have over 200 episodes just waiting for you. See you there!
All right, let's cross over to AEW and talk about their viral moment from earlier. If you saw Mina Shirakawa's name trending on social media, then here's why. You had her bumping chests with timeless Toni Storm, and then Mariah May playing peacekeeper despite the fact na sila maglalaban at Forbidden Door, and Mariah May using her bosom to bring Mina Shirakawa and timeless Toni Storm towards her. So I guess this is the current era's version of HLA, and I wanted to get your guys' takes on it.
Okay, there are fears that, I mean, some people are afraid that this might be too controversial or too sexual, or too objectifying of women. Pero okay, if you didn't know already, Toni Storm is a very sexual character. Like, if you haven't been paying attention to the things she says, she is very, very sexual. And medyo sly lang siya about it. Medyo subtle lang siya about it minsan. Pero, well, not subtle, but she's She does mention it a lot. And Mina is also very outwardly sexual. She's really proud of her body, and you can see why. And I don't see a problem with this because, for one, it's not a dirty old man telling them to go be hot and frisky with each other to titillate the men, right? If they are titillating the men, it's because they want to be sexual characters. It's their agency for them to be these characters. So I think TK naman hasn't been actively telling his women on the roster to go be hot, sexy women, right? To draw in the male viewers. I think he's been largely letting them do their own thing. It's largely been a variety of different characters, a variety of different personalities on the women's division in AEW. So I don't think this is problematic as long as it's all their idea. It's all the women's idea.
Ako
Tsaka,
naman, like,
I think.
sorry.
Sige, go ahead.
Go, Chino.
Okay.
I'll ask you.
I do
Yes, Gino.
I do not see any issue to it because it's not really an HLA thing. It was executed in a more comedic way rather than like what you used to see in NXT 2.0 na puro horny antics. And also Mina Shirakawa has been doing this H Cup thing ever since her days in Japan. Why do I know? I do not know, King. And it's not for kids for sure. Pero like the execution matters. If it's comedic, that's fine. It depends on the context kasi.
Are you a weak man, Rowan? Do you need a fin in your life? Is that what you know?
No.
Emil,
No, sir.
go be a spin, man. Cock block Rowan.
No.
He needs to focus on his studies. He has to stop looking at Mina Shirakawa. No, but for real though, I feel like in the year of our Lord 2024, women's wrestling is diverse enough to accept women who are voluntarily sexualizing themselves or self-aware enough to sell sex as a means for plot device. Diba? Si Mina Shirakawa, I've been watching her episode on Hey EW, that shoot work program that RJ City hosts, and you can tell that she's very self-aware of what she brings to the table, diba? Hindi siya yung masculine female, diba? She actually acknowledges her large chest size, diba? And the sexual appeal that she brings to the table here. So I think sino ba tayo para magsabi na mag-t-shirt ka na malaki? Diba? Who's Tony Khan to tell her to not be flirtatious, diba? Why is he going to stop her? Kung choice naman niya yun, diba? Diba? I don't think AEW is an environment that would enforce gimmicks that are against a person's beliefs, diba? Or yung gusto nila lang gawin. Otherwise, we would have seen a lot more overt examples of sexualizing women's wrestlers dun sa roster nila. But then I think this is just the first one in a long time. Diba? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is just the first one in a long time. And itong mga kasali dito sa storyline na to, these are the wrestlers that are aware enough to know na hindi sila yung quote-unquote masculine or female wrestlers, but they also bring a little sassiness, a little flirtatiousness to the ring. So good for them, man. They were able to pull it off. I like it. I found it very well done. It's hilarious. The sex comedies are still comedies, and I'm very interested to see how the match plays out on Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but this has been a storyline. Its roots go all the way back to March. When Mira. When she first appeared AWTV and sided with Mariah May. So it's papunta na din dito sa aabot talaga dito sa point na there's gonna be a clash there because both of these women have Mariah May as their I don't know, they both love Mariah May and they're trying to compete they're trying to compete for the title but also for Mariah as well. So it's done naman within the context of the storyline. That's why I don't mind it. I've been enjoying this storyline for how funny both women are and also Mariah May as well. So hindi siya naman distasteful for me.
Yeah, Rowan is right, kanina, when he said that it's actually a comedy story. It is. It's not played up for eroticism. It's not like the divas of the ruthless aggression and attitude era. So I think that's an important distinguisher as well.
Mm-hmm. Sticking with AEW, we saw a lot of calling out. You had MJF appearing on the show, kinall out niya sina Okada, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and then Swerve had his own promo where he called out a lot of people in general, but one call out stood out to me, and that was Team AEW, which was FTR, Bryan Danielson, and Darby Allin ng Double or Nothing. And Swerve was calling out Team AEW kasi parang next time you put a group together to go up against the Elite, you better remember that it has to start with the guy who holds the AEW World Championship. And when I watched that, sabi ko, yes, that makes sense. But also, Christian Cage and the Patriarchy were beating your ass down every week, Swerve. So what the hell? Where does the Swerve character get the ascendancy to call out Team AEW 2 weeks after Double or Nothing?
I'm not quite sure what he wants to accomplish here. So, anong gusto niya? Gusto niyang kasali siya sa Anarchy in the Arena? I don't understand what's happening.
Plus, I think his title match was booked first before Anarchy in the Arena. So wala din naman siya magagawa. He's already in a match. So may double book siya, di ba? So sobrang nalabuan ako dito. That's why I said earlier na medyo nalalabuan ako sa alignment niya because this is not a babyface thing to do. You know, like logically, why would you call out the team that is representing AEW in general? So this was such a weird shot and weird thing to insert in his promo earlier.
I don't think it makes him any less of a sorry, Chino. I don't think it makes him any less of a babyface. I just think it makes him really angry. Sorry, go ahead.
I think if anything, it's just his attempt to say, hey, nandito pa ako. Diba? Yes, granted, inuupakan siya ng Patriarchy week after week until the pay-per-view. So, yes, he was a little preoccupied with that. But I think it's a little too late for him to start complaining na parang sasabi niya, ba't di niyo ako sinama? Diba? I'm the champion, but di niyo ako sinama. It's a little too late for that. But then again, at the same time, tayo din yung nagsasabi na bakit wala si Swerve sa main storyline, which is essentially this is because it's against the Elite. So maybe it's his way of bringing the attention back to him, trying to include himself in the main storyline.
Yeah, Chino's right. Like, sabi mo nga, like, he's trying to be like, oh, I'm still here. Pero like, it sounds more like an elementary student being petty na, but di nyo sinali sa poster making contest. While, on the other hand, he's busy doing something else, like, I don't know, a talent show, probably. Like, parang ganun. Like, kung willing siya sana mag-double duty, that would be fine. Pero like, I think it really made him look dumb in that promo.
Yeah,
it
did, diba? He did look silly. It did make Swerve look silly. Yun yung pinakatanong ko coming out of that promo because he seemed to have so much to say and then the promo was going in all sorts of directions before he brought it back to yung main point niya when he was talking to Renee Paquette. So I don't know, just a very weird performance from Swerve, who normally hits it right out of the park. Just very, very weird. We're going to end part 1 of the live stream right here, but just refresh your feeds. Meron ng part 2 from the live stream, and we'll be talking about AEW over there, plus our predictions for NXT Battleground, because that is happening on Monday, Manila time from the UFC Apex. So stick around and go look for that on your Spotify and Apple Podcast feeds or wherever you listen to your podcasts. For Chino Liao, Ro Moran, Rowan ASH, and Emil Nate, my name is Stan C, saying thanks for catching another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. Stay safe, stay dry, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast. Out. Later, Outcasts.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization,